Autism Investigation, Episode 20, Play Fight.
Way back when we were younger, we went on to a holiday, and that's where my other friends and that found out that Muhammad was before. Well, they all thought he was mad because we didn't know about these conditions and stuff like that. And our experience was fun, scary, and also never knew that, look, when is Muhammad going to strike? We were play fighting.
Play fighting.
But I don't think Muhammad understood that time what was play fighting. He actually got very serious. And I think we were all out of the room, and Jerome, another friend of us, he was with Muhammad in the room still. And then we just heard his brother running out and say, well, Muhammad is choking my brother to death. And then we ran in, and then he had Jerome in a deadly lock. And we had to actually tell him, Muhammad, release. This is not a rag doll, it's a human being. We had to calm him down. And then we found Muhammad the morning again, wrapped up like somebody that
in
kafang, which we call, if a Muslim maningals, then we must wrap him up in sheets and stuff. And he was wrapped up in kafang. Whoever did it to him, I don't know if he did it himself. But yeah, that was the type of guy he was. But he was a fun guy also. That's the memories I have of him. But also you had to, I could never, well, maybe I understood him and that, but we didn't understand the condition he had. For me, he was just crazy.
So for me, I always found you to be too deep. But maybe if I think now, it could have been also the level I was at the time, because I also blocked a lot of people off, and I didn't want people in my space. So maybe at the time I thought it was that, but then there was a whole part of me that thought that you were just way too deep. I always felt you couldn't have a simple conversation.
Small talk.
Small talk.
Yeah.
And guess what? Maybe it's not what she likes, maybe it's what I like. Maybe I don't even like small talk, but maybe I like listening to somebody else's small talk. But I just found at the time, that point that I was in, you were just way too much for me to handle. I couldn't, you actually irritated me. There is not a specific example, because I think a lot of the time when you did speak, I tried to block you. There was a lot of things I was dealing with, right? Where I also didn't want people in my space. So could have been a little bit of that, coupled with a lot of the irritation or the annoyance I was getting from you. However, I just felt that everything, and somebody couldn't just put a glass down. Then you would want to discuss why that glass was put down there and not here, why the the cup is half filled and not full. I remember you would ask me things about like, now why are you wearing that color top? And I would find it very personal, because it's the top that I want to wear, it's the color I like, and like, what is it to you? Why do you want to know why I'm wearing that color? So that put me off of him.
Now, when you said irritated, how did you deal with that? So I come and say stuff and it's irritating. Then how did you deal with it? Why?
I didn't deal with it well.
No, it doesn't matter why or not. What did you do?
I just blocked you off.
And then what did I do? Can you remember? Did I notice it?
No, I don't know.
I don't even think I noticed it.
I think you noticed
You just carried on.
You just carried on.
You just carried on like normal.
Yes, you would just go to another level.
Yeah.
And then I would push you away even further. Like if I knew you were going to be in the space, then I don't want to be.
Look, the thing is just like Ashley, when we were talking now the other day, you actually came up and I was making fun of him. And I said, yeah, Ashley, I look, there's a mouth in your room. This is So that was funny for me. So whenever we speak about you,
yes,
I know the fun side of it, because I could understand what you were, not that, for me it was just crazy.
I was going to say, you could not have understood what he was going through, because we didn't know that he was going through anything.
I just don't know.
That wasn't the
But it's because also, I knew your brothers.
And I didn't know either.
And you also didn't know.
I know for a fact at the wedding, I don't know if it was your wedding or your brother's wedding, and but hulle het die tafels omgegooi toe hulle sommer met mekaar beklei.
Oh, that was my cousin's.
Now you see, your cousin now.
Yeah.
So the brothers came together.
Yeah.
And they sommer now all, and all the brothers is like this. But even Sir Maningald also, and that
was his wedding.
It was his wedding, yeah. Now you get there. You guys you get into an argument, all the fucking tables fly in the wall. That's the type of, you know what I'm saying? So, for me, you were just crazy. But the times we had together was fun.
I met Muhammad today, 3rd of March 2024, not even half an hour ago. And I heard him speak, and then my first initial thought was, yo, but this guy can talk a lot. He just talks and talks and talks and doesn't stop talking. And then I very quickly, as I sat down and I started actually listening to what Muhammad was saying, I could understand from what he was saying that he is a very deep person. You do analyze everything by nature. I don't know much about the condition, so I don't know if it goes hand in hand. Over-analyzing everything goes hand in hand with being autistic. But one thing that I can say is I love sitting and listening to people speak if they speak intelligently and not just ramble on about stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah, look, you can sit with him and have an intelligent talk about him and that,
Yes.
but there's sometimes you just say, okay, right, I had enough now. Because why? He will not stop.
Yeah.
Because I don't think his brain ever switches off.
Get the sense that it doesn't, and it's a bit sad for me that you don't seem to switch off, just to have almost like a moment's just peace and quiet. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know you better. But I am the type of person that will tell you, okay, Muhammad, I've had enough now, I need a break. But it was lovely meeting you.
So very interesting that switching off thing. My head never switch off. The only time I can switch off if I have something called stimming. So that's why I need my wife, because if I touch her and hug her or something, then I can focus on that and on some textures that I like, and then I can relax and I can switch off. Otherwise, it's just non-stop.
But that must be exhausting, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just normal, but I guess that's what they call it, the autistic inner world. It just continues non-stop. And that analyzing, yes, I analyze stuff to death. But it's good for engineering, because then it was easy.
Yeah.
And maths.
I imagine that it would
So,
be, yeah.
It's no problem. Problem solving is no problem. I just continue till I find solutions.
But yeah,
So-
that's the story.
So I just want to ask you, this is her husband, and he was a bit shy to say something, but
I'm so sad, don't worry.
so what was your impression there for
My
the first few
first
seconds?
impression was when I stepped into the room and I wanted to greet you, and you said, you know what, I don't touch hands, I don't greet. And I thought to myself, you know what, that's your way, so I'll respect that. But then afterwards, sitting with you and listening to you, I understood and understand why you like that and the communication and stuff. But the first thing that went through my mind while you were busy talking is, it sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's went through
Arnold
my
Schwarzenegger.
mind. That's went through my mind, and sitting and looking at you the whole time, I thought to myself, you know what, I know this guy from somewhere, but I can't picture. And that's when I asked you, where did you live? Where did you go to school? And the minute you said Muhammadiyah, I said, you know what, I also went to Muhammadiyah. And that's where I kind of, I won't say I know you, but we're coming from the same background, and that's it for me.
Awesome, thank you.
We used to bloody go into that tree, and we used to get so crazy and mad with you.
Why?
No, for picking the stuff, it's not ripe yet. And we had wonderful parents, wonderful parents. When I think about them, I just feel like I want to cry, you know. Oh, good people, but he was a bugger.
What else you remember?
Very clever, you were very, very clever. Ask him something and you would be able to explain and so forth, you know. I think you're still the same, man. I wonder if your kids are anything like you, huh?
Yeah, they say so, no? My other daughter also did engineering, so.
Very clever, this boy.
Okay.
What, were you recording this?
Yes?
Things that normal other children at that age wouldn't do. Well, like playing, you would play, but you were always very clever, man. You could read and you could maths and physics and all that. You always knew you were going to be in the maths field.